This team's something to behold.
2022 Eagles did that too.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah. This team is something to behold, but in a different way. Play a lot of close games, and the Green Bay game week 1 was an example of that. And one thing that strikes me, and I'm curious if people agree with this, I do think there is overconfidence. I mean, I'm just telling you based on our show, the calls, things I think we have said, myself included, and do I expect the Eagles to win? Yes, I do. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to win the game. I want to be very clear about that. I expect the Eagles to win, but I don't expect it to the extent where I'll be, shocked.
Jaws?
Jaws was way over the top. So, John, do you sense overconfidence amongst yourself?
Well, yeah.
The rest of us here?
I
the
do.
fan base? Talk to me. What do you think?
I sense overconfidence in myself. I was worried about being a little bit overconfident. I think I got to come to grips with the fact that overconfidence is important. Confidence is important.
Yep.
Overconfidence, I think, as a fan, is expected at this point because I really do believe so strongly in our organization, our roster, our coaches. That I am overconfident. But I'm growing okay with that.
Why?
And I'm growing okay with the idea that the team would be overconfident because I want them to be cocky. I know that they are good enough to be cocky. I want them to. Sometimes overconfident is good because it really does lead to confidence. I want unflappable belief. I do believe we will continue to grow even through this playoff process as a team, and we need to continue to be open-minded to getting better as we play through this field, which is crazy in the NFC. But it's good to be good enough to be cocky, and we're that good, and I think we're much better than this Packers team. I think we can lean on them, and I think we can make it look like we are much better when it's all said and done. But they are a quality team. You look at the way that you look at the stats from the season. You look at the fact, opponent rush yards per game. I always like to look at that. The Packers are 7th. They're better than we are at stopping the run.
Aren't they top 10 offense and defense?
Yes.
I mean, that there, that tells you they're good. That's a quality
They're a well-rounded
that's a good
team.
squad, man. Yeah.
So they're 7th stopping the run right behind Detroit and Pittsburgh, who are 5th and 6th. Number 1 is the Ravens. Everyone's they're a sexy pick right now, the Ravens.
Now,
Saquon
ran on the Ravens for what it's worth.
He was the first guy to go 100 yards on him in 20 games or whatever the number was.
But the Ravens are number 1 in the
Yep.
league right now, allowing 80 yards per game. But this Packers team, they allow under 100 per game. And the Eagles, we're allowing 104 a game. We're 10th in that. But the bottom line is good teams beat this Packer team. They played the Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles a total of 5 times this year, and their record was 0-5. So Jordan Love, we know that he's young and exciting, and he's got a great future ahead of him, but right now Jordan Love is young and banged up and inconsistent, says he can't. He has nerve issues in his ulnar nerve, which is grip strength in the cold. That does matter.
He said it then. We don't know if it still applies. If it still applies, that changes the whole game.
Okay.
Changes the whole game.
He's banged up. He's inconsistent.
He's
slumping when you would least prefer he slump if you're a Packers fan. And he's also without his big play guy, Christian Watson. So you look at the other side of that, and Jalen Hurts is rested. Jalen Hurts is studied up. He's prepared to go out there, and he's dying to show everyone how healthy he is. That's the bottom line. To show everyone how our offense can always be right no matter what they try to throw at us. So this Packers game, I do think, is going to remind the world, Eagles fans included, because I think we've forgotten to some degree how good this team is. When we play against other good teams, we continue to grow. They have continued to sort of slump, maybe flounder. They're more banged up than we are. I'm excited to just show our defense. Look at those numbers. Number 1 in yardage, number 2 in scoring. That stuff is awesome. They have to play their best game to move the ball against us. I love the way we tackle. I love the way we hit, the toughness. It's all there. When this game gets elevated and guys start smacking each other and really trying to hurt each other, because that's what you do in the postseason. You really try to hurt that guy.
Yep.
We can do that better than everyone else, and that's why I think we're going to win this thing and continue to win.
Look, I'm curious, and Jen, I hear you. So it's funny. You are yes, we're overconfident, and the Eagles are like very, very much likely to win. All right, Seltzer.
Yes.
So I mean, it's classic. It's classic Philadelphia, by the way. James, are we overconfident?
Get ready for more classic Philadelphia, because we are overconfident. I'm overconfident, and I don't care. Like, I'm overconfident because I believe in this football team. Honestly, we talked about this recently where you talked about I had more faith in the 2020, or you had more faith in the 2022 team.
Yeah.
I have more faith in this football team heading into the playoffs.
Why?
I think they are better than the 2022
really?
team. Absolutely.
I do
like
too.
the 2022 defense was not this defense.
Yeah.
I know they got a lot of sacks, but they couldn't stop good quarterbacks. We always felt that Mahomes, we knew that could happen. We knew a team could come back against that defense. This defense all year has shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, I have such faith in this team and this defense. I know I'm overconfident, and I'm okay with it.
Look, well, first off, that team had home field advantage, so that to me is a big difference at this stage than that stage. I just want to put that out there right out of the gate. You guys know I believed in Hurts more 2 years ago than I do now. Now, there's a lot of parts of this team that are better. Saquon,
this
the
defense is so much better, man.
I don't know if so much better, but they're better.
And ahead of schedule.
I would say
with
so
those
much better,
young
too.
players at those key spots. This is so exciting.
All right, so look, where do you stand? 215-592-9494. Where do you personally stand? But then also, as you assess the assessments, you know, the fan base, the WIP talk, the talk show hosts, the callers that call in, do you think there is too much confidence in the air? And it's good to have it. It's fun. I mean, it means we got a really good, if not great team. But do you think sometimes we get a little carried away? And you guys know I do think in terms of the Phillies, who have lost a couple years in a row and we flat out didn't expect them to in the postseason. I mean, it has happened. By the way, Eagles have lost home games at the Link in the playoffs. I mean, that has happened as well. Where do you stand on all this?
Yes, they have. That has happened.
Yes, they have.
Thanks,
It does
Joe.
not mean
Yes,
that
they
a
have.
team that is so significantly great, so much better than their opponent, is going to lose.
All right, where do you stand on all this? 215-592-9494.